Alright guys, it's Dave from Brewing here. We're going to do another brew today, and it's going to be a 2-can kit that you'll all recognise. So I thought the fermenting vessel's empty, so it's time to get them filled up, and we're going to show you what we've got. Let's have a look. So here we have it, the St. Peter's Ruby Red 40 kit. It says that it comes out with an ABV of approximately 4.3. So and it says it's a subtle malt undertones with a distinctive spicy hop aroma. There you go. Now, I've heard a lot about these on the forums, and I've had St. Peter's beers before from the local supermarket, and they're very nice beers. So it's only fair that we give one of these a go, and I cannot wait. There's the instructions on the side, and a little bit about St. Peter's Brewery on the back, which I'll see if I can put on there, get up on the video. And this is a 2-can kit, which personally I think is probably one of the easiest kind of kits to brew, because you don't have to mess on with sugars and stuff like that. So in the box we have obviously tin number 1 and tin number 2. We have our sachet of yeast. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. And we also have a little sachet, oops, get the right way around, of Golden's hop powder. And it says you've got to add this prior to adding the yeast. And it contains, I don't know if you can see that, a little bit more, maltodextrin and hop oil. Now, I have used these before in these type of sachets in other kits, and they turned out well, so let's give this one a go. So that's the Ruby Red Ale from St. Peter's, and let's get the show on the road. Alright guys, so here we are, St. Peter's Ruby Red. See, I've took the tins out, and I've got the packet of yeast and the packet of Golden's hop powder. Now, because this is a 2-can kit, it's a little bit more expensive than a single can kit. However, it's easier to make because you don't have to mess on with any more fermentables, you don't have to add any sugars, spray malts. It's pretty much as you see it, everything's done for you. So all we're going to be doing is adding these 2 tins to a fermenting vessel, topping it up with water. Well, should I say we'll add these 2 tins, then rinse these 2 tins out to get all the wort off the sides. Then we'll top the fermenting vessel up that we've got there. Once we've poured the tins in, we'll top it all up with water. Then we'll add the hop powder. Then we'll add the yeast and Bob's Uncle Billy and Mary's Auntie Sally, and it's as simple as that. So let's get these tins opened and get them poured in. Right, so that's the tins open, and now it's time to put them in the fermenting vessel. Over this end over here. And we'll put in tin number 1. Actually, tin number 1 and tin number 2. There we go. Save a bit of time. So I'll pour them in. And then what we'll do is we'll rinse out the tins with some boiling hot water, and we'll get all the goodness out the tins. That smells pretty much. Pretty much done that one. I think this one's about the same. Yep. So add some hot water. Right, so to number 1. To number 2. I'm going to give them a stir. There we go. And that will help get every single bit of the wort from inside the tin. Give tin number 2 a stir. There we go. Lovely. And then we'll put you on the stand and we'll get these tins poured in. Right, so we're going to pour in tin number 1. Over the lid. It smells gorgeous. And tin. And tin number 2. Again, over the lid. And I'm going to give this a good stir for a couple of minutes, and when I've mixed it all in, we'll be right back. Right, it's time to add some water. I'm going to do this at a height. Cold water this, by the way, and this is for the aeration as well. Pour that up again. We're aiming for 23 litres. So about there. It's 23. That's the next lot. Try this. 23. Bang on. Now the next thing we need to do is add our Golden's hot powder. I'm doing this before we add the yeast. There we go. Doesn't smell of yeast, but doesn't smell of hops. However, I have used this on a brew before and it turned out absolutely amazing, so fingers crossed. Give that a good mix in. Like so. We'll take a temperature reading and a hydrometer test. See what we're at. Okay, so bottom of the orange is 1040, and I think can't really tell this. But I would say that's about 1041, 1042. Now, because the water that we've added is quite cold, we're going to leave this for room temperature until we add the yeast later on tonight. Once the temperature's around 20, we'll pitch the yeast. So we'll do that about 2 or 3 hours when this is room temperature. So, back in a bit when we'll pitch the yeast. Alright guys, so it's at temperature now. We'll sprinkle the yeast on. Like so. And put the lid back on. There we are. And we'll see you in 24 hours. Right guys, St. Peter's Ruby Red. After a bit of a late start, it's starting to bubble like a bad boy.